rule has always been 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. If I was to tell anyone what charges I would make at Scarpelli's deportation hearing, witnesses would disappear, records would be shredded.
Not if you told me.
I like you, Denise. I like you best with your fingernails attached to your hands.
But if anything happened to you...
Somebody else takes over the crime commission. Starts at square one. Yes?
Excuse me, sir. I'm going to let the dog out and go to bed. I was wondering if Miss Fields would mind using the side exit.
Not at all.
That's fine, Wilkins. Good night, good night. Good night. Okay, let's go over that list of people I'm supposed to call back.
You don't actually intend to call them.
No. But I'd like to know who I am offending.
Lisa, this office can't even operate without pencils and erasers. Thanks. Bye.
Thank heavens you're back. The phone has not stopped ringing since you left for lunch. They rejected your requisition for office supplies again.
Resubmit it.
Yeah, but we need a Form 200A to do that, and that's one of the things we requisitioned. And they didn't approve your request for a second phone either.
We'll just have to make do.
Yeah, and maintenance called to say they won't be able to paint your office after all. Well, all the paint's allocated.
Anything else?
Yes, Adderly's been asking for you. He wants to see you right away.
I don't want to see him.
But he says it's urgent.
He always says it's urgent.
Oh, Mr. Greenspan. Sandra Kirkwood is waiting for you in your office.
Who?
Sandra Kirkwood, the television news person.
What in the world does she want?
I don't know.
Didn't you ask?
Well, I didn't think I should. Might be top secret.
Hi.
Mr. Greenspan?
Yes.
I didn't think you'd be so young. This is really a great pleasure and a great honor.
It is. I mean, not really.
I can't tell you how much I've looked forward to meeting you. I hope you don't mind that I waited.
No, certainly not. Please, sit down.
Well, I know how busy you are, so if I may, I'll come right to the point. I intend to do something that's never been done on primetime television before.
Oh?
I intend to do a series on public servants such as yourself, who do so much for so little.
Really?
Yes. And with your permission and cooperation, I'd like to lead off the series with an in-depth look at your department and the vital work you do.
Well, it's certainly true that our significance is overlooked.
Needless to say, as head of the agency, you'd be featured in the broadcast. As a matter of fact, you'll probably be on camera a good deal of the time.
Well, a man in my position shouldn't receive an undue amount of publicity. But be that as it may, just tell me how I can cooperate.
Well, I'd like to learn more about the vital work you do and how it's done. And since you're obviously so busy, I thought you might assign some lower-level operative to show me more.
Will you excuse me?
It's impossible.
Why is it impossible?
We're not doing anything vital. We never do anything vital. We're the low rung on the ladder.
That's exactly my point. Sandra Kirkwood could change all that.
We're still not doing anything vital.
Use your initiative.
You mean fake it, Melville?
I mean, use your own discretion. Just don't tell me about it. What is all this anyway?
Mountain climbing gear. It's my vacation with pay.
You're not entitled to a vacation with pay.
Everyone who works here is entitled to a vacation with pay.
I have a TV newscaster in my office.
I just can't decide between the High Sierras or Lake Louise. I should work out a way to take in a Blue Jays game, too.
We forget about the Blue Jays. This is important. Sandra Kirkwood is going to do a TV broadcast on miscellaneous affairs.
What about my vacation with pay?
We'll see. But if you blow this, Adderly, you're on permanent vacation.
Miscellaneous Affairs has access to each agency specializing in national security.
How many agents does Miscellaneous Affairs have?
You mean operatives?
How many?
Well, it varies, depending on the type of assignment, whether it's United Nations or Interpol.
How many are there right now?
Can't reveal classified information.
Your superior ordered you to cooperate, remember? I could go on the air and report a total lack of cooperation.
What is it you're really after?
What?
Nobody cares about dedicated public servants unless they're leaking documents or covering up. So what's the real point of the story?
Don't you ever take your left hand out of your pocket?
No,
Why?
that's classified too.
Your pocket or your hand?
Both.
There's something wrong with your hand, isn't there?
You haven't done your homework.
I approach each story with an open mind. There is something wrong with it, isn't there?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it in so long.
How do you manage to do your job without a left hand?
Remarkably well.
Well, that's something I'd like to see for myself.
No way.
Greenspan said you'd take me along on one of your cases.
Oh, he did he?
It's absolutely necessary for the peace. Look, Greenspan wants the exposure. It'll be good for him and the department.
Wouldn't hurt your career either.
You do have cases, don't you?
Of course we do.
Just nothing at the moment.
Nothing safe enough to take you on.
Try me.
Hi, Ernie. Okay, lady. Have it your way.
What are you doing?
Making a phone call and we're taking a car ride.
I have to make a phone call, too.
No time. Ernie, Jane?
Miscellaneous Affairs.
I need information on Luigi Scarpelli, fast.
Luigi Scarpelli? What, you mean this is going to be our case? Oh, Mr. Greenspan's going to be so thrilled.
No, I wouldn't mention it to him, Mona. We're operating on a need-to-know basis.
Okay, how deep do you want to go?
Address, phone number, place of birth, that deep enough?
Well, what about his syndicate connections, the racketeering, the...
Just read me what's on his driver's license, Mona.
Okay.
Is this one of your official vehicles?
We try not to be conspicuous.
You've succeeded. Offhand, I'd say you're driving in circles.
It's reminiscent of the way you talk.
I've been very clear about my intentions, Mr. Adderly.
We'll see. My turn for a question. How much do you know about Luigi Scarpelli and Crime Commissioner Devlin?
Well, I know the odds are the explosion was set by Scarpelli to frighten Devlin.
Right? And you think Scarpelli's a fool and the only person with a motive?
Maybe he miscalculated.
Maybe. But why would he do it?
So Devlin's commission won't try to have him deported next week?
How'd you like to ask Scarpelli himself?
Don't I wish?
You wanted in on a case.
Yeah, but nobody can see Scarpelli. And nobody gets into his house. Not without a warrant.
Miscellaneous Affairs doesn't need one.
Well, he won't admit anything.
Even with you asking the questions?
You'd have to get me in first.
Getting in's easy.
Haha. You're just trying to impress me. Aren't you?
Don't flatter yourself. See, I don't think he did it. Well, we're here.
You can't be serious.
You said Greenspan promised you a typical case.
This is typical?
You can always wait right here and lock the doors.
Not on your life.
D.H. Adderly, Miscellaneous Affairs, to see Don Luigi Scarpelli.
I don't believe I'm here.
I thought reporters always wanted to be somewhere like here. D.H. Adderly, Miscellaneous Affairs, to see Don Luigi Scarpelli.
Look,
Smile. You're on Luigi Vision.
Mr. Scarpelli sees no one without an appointment.
Tell him it's important.
Get lost.
maybe we should go phone for an appointment.
That's not how Miscellaneous Affairs operates. Sit. Stay. You seem to have a way with animals. The dogs obey. You should have. Maybe next time, but right now I have to see Don Luigi.
My uncle doesn't see uninvited guests.
So, invite us. First two dogs made your point.
You have two choices. Leave now, as you are, or later, on a stretcher.
Well, I'd like to leave as I am, but after I see Don Luigi.
Adderly, let's go.
Tutta la gente da Verona sono fatti da merda de vaca!
Giovanni a che palle, morto che da chi.
What's happening?
He's got an invitation.
It's nothing to grin about.
What is the largest of the Great Lakes?
Oh my gosh. You know, my husband sent his parents there for a vacation.
They sent a couple of guys there permanently. Go on. Say it. Superior.
Ontario.
Look at him, he's watching game shows.
Good reporting.
This doesn't surprise me.
Just another day for miscellaneous affairs.
But don't go away. We'll be right back after.
Your Italian stinks.
It got me in.
Why did you shout that everybody in the village of Verona was made of cow dung?
Because I hear you come from Galatari.
Cow dung. When I was a little boy, I called them much worse than that.
You must not laugh. Don't make him laugh.
What's a man that doesn't laugh? I want to laugh when I want to laugh.
And die when you don't want to die.
Oh, she's my sister, worse than a wife. So, what do you and your girlfriend want?
I'm
She's
not
not
his
my
girlfriend. I'm a reporter.
She's here to see how I do my job.
So am I. What do you want?
You're the reporter. Ask him.
You ask him.
She wants to know if you blew up Commissioner Devlin's fountain.
You think I'm a fool? You think I want to be deported?
Well, if you didn't do it, who did and why?
Who did? Devlin has sent lots of people to prison. Maybe they want to make him sweat because he made them sweat.
If it's enough, please go. He must rest. He'll never see Sicily again.
I never want to see Sicily
Tomorrow.
again.
Come back tomorrow if you have to, but now go.
One more thing, Mr. Adderly. If I'd gone after Devlin last night, he would be dead this morning.
You read my mind. Ciao.
I think it's fabulous. Seeing Scarpelli, well, that's worth airtime by itself.
No. It would blow the expose, and that means much, much more to me.
What is so important about some rinky-dink agency?
I am convinced Miscellaneous Affairs is setting fire to taxpayers' money.
Well, this guy Greenspan, he seems the bureaucratic type. But now Adderly.
He almost got us killed. He's their only agent, and he's only got one hand.
You exaggerate.
Do I? Look, I'm going home. I'm beat.
When do you want airtime?
Soon. And I want the lead story spot.
Go get some rest.
Good night.
This is a difficult time for the family. And so I've decided to make arrangements. In case my lawyer is as unsuccessful as my doctor. I have no son to pass my business to. And so I have made a decision. Each of you will take over the operations that you handle now. I want no fighting about the size of the pieces. You will keep on all the people who work for me now. Take care of them. And I want no one abused when I'm gone.
What about me?
Johnny, be still.
No, Mama. I'm your blood. You always said...
Patience. Maybe sometime you're too young.
I am not too young.
And too foolish.
Don Luigi, forgive him.
In our family, leadership passes by blood.
And in time, you may be chief, but it cannot be today.
You mean that? That if he demonstrates that...
Why do you think I'm not naming someone now?
Damn that Devlin. Poking into our affairs, trumping up charges. I told you. We should have hit him when this whole thing started.
Nobody hits Devlin. Nobody does stupid pranks like blowing up a fountain. Nobody. And nobody makes decisions while I'm here.
Johnny! Luigi. Forgive him, Luigi. He only wants to prove that he can head the family.
He's as wild as his dogs.
And when you were his age, you were just as wild. I remember a man who no one dared to challenge, dared to threaten.
Times change.
But the family still needs a strong man to lead it. A man with Scarpelli blood.
A man with Sicilian blood. A man who can think with his head and as well as his heart. No, you cannot argue for him as you did with his father. No, Bella. It cannot be. Ah!
And that will end my preamble. Then I'll move on to my conclusions and recommendations for the deportation.
And we can do that in the morning.
Oh, not in favor of burning the midnight oil, Denise?
No, sir. It's just I get the feeling that you haven't quite made up your mind yet.
I think I made up my mind. Just about.
Mr. Devlin, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I thought these grounds were sealed off.
We'll get him. He may have gotten in, but he'll never get out.
Huh? All right, Wilkins, the police are on the trail.
I don't understand, sir. They must have run right past us. We couldn't have been 10 feet from the gunman.
Well, in that case, we're all very lucky.
But the dog, sir.
What about the dog?
It didn't make a sound.
Morning, Mona. What's new?
Hi, Mr. Greenspan wants to see you, and
You're late.
I think best in bed.
There was another attack on Devlin last night. This one was no warning.
As long as they miss, it's a warning. Mona, I want everything we've got in the Devlin Commission, plus a list of everyone he sent a prisoner or deported.
Wow.
And I want a list of everyone they've investigated and where they are now.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah. I want to talk to Clack.
You can, he's out of town. Oh, and wait, Mr. Greenspan really does want to see you.
BH. I've been wondering how you and Miss Kirkwood are getting along.
We got to talk.
About what?
Something vital.
I've scheduled a meeting with Major Clack.
He's out of town.
About Devlin.
Devlin? Oh, of course. I understand he's very...
Melville, this case is no simple police matter.
We should have a meeting then, right now, in my office. Excuse us.
Oh, I hope you're not getting the wrong impression.
Oh, no.
You see, Mr. Greenspan's schedule is very tight, and Mr. Adderley's cases are generally top priority, so...
I know. I spent part of yesterday at the Scarpelli estate.
What? In the underworld stronghold?
Mm-hmm.
Well... Well, you never know where you're going with Mr. Adderley when you start going somewhere with him.
I think I'll wait for him in his office. Which one is it?
The other one. Oh, sorry, I mean, it's that one.
You keep doing it to me, Adderly. Again and again. I tell you one thing, You do something else.
And I keep telling you I've got to speak to Devlin. I don't care if he is under police protection.
I give you specific instructions. You ignore them.
There's got to be a way to see him. Concentrate.
I tell you to impress that reporter. What do? You interfere in a case that isn't any of our business.
Melville, you told me to use my initiative.
Yes, but the Devlin case is going too far.
It impressed her.
It won't if you're yanked off of it. Don't you understand? This woman's broadcasts are seen everywhere. She could make or break us. Even if Clack should intervene now. If he was to use his full authority. Now, even if he was able... What? What's it? Wait, Adderly, where? Adderly, where? Adderly?
Yes, this is Major Clack's executive secretary. I'm calling to say the Major is on his way to meet Mr. Devlin as arranged. Well, I certainly hope you don't intend to turn the Major away. I don't need to tell you how influential he is or how much authority his position carries. Of course, I understand. No. I've made a few mistakes myself. Bye-bye.
You're Major Clack?
Your rather I was Greenspan?
Either way, I'm not your secretary.
Identification, please.
Major Clack and associate to see Mr. Devlin.
Okay. Let him through. Security clearance, Major Clack.
How about charges of misrepresentation and impersonation?
You wanted to come?
Were you always part of miscellaneous affairs?
No, but you've always been a reporter, haven't you?
It's all I've ever wanted to be.
At any cost?
I believe the public should be made aware of what's happening.
Even if somebody gets hurt, someone who might be innocent?
Mr. Adderly, if my facts are substantiated and if the story is true, then it must be told.
Good point. Now, don't say anything that'll embarrass miscellaneous affairs. And if he recognizes you, let me do the talking.
Major Clack and his associate are here to see you, sir.
All right, thanks. You're not Clack. And who are you?
Good question. Who are you?
Sandra Kirkwood, I'm with Global News.
I hope your assistants are more loyal.
All right, enough of your banter. Who are you and what do you want? You got 60 seconds.
V.H. Adderly, Miscellaneous Affairs.
What?
Miscellaneous Affairs.
What the hell is miscellaneous affairs?
That takes more than 60 seconds.
It's a government agency originally intended to deal with matters that didn't fall within the province of a specifically defined department.
Really?
Well?
I believe your life's in danger.
That's why I have guards all over the estate.
I didn't help you last night. Who besides Scarpelli might have reason to threaten you?
I've been over that with the police.
Go over it with me.
Young man, I'm here to defend the law, not to make criminals happy.
Good point. But does anybody stand out? Bribes, threats?
Yes, I have a lot of enemies. A lot of them. I may have more enemies than anyone else in this hemisphere, and I'm about to add you two to that list. Your time is up. These people are leaving.
Are you thinking of postponing the Scarpelli decision?
Absolutely not.
One last thing. Did that fountain have any special meaning to you?
My dog loved it. I thought it was an eyesore. Goodbye.
Well, that was a complete waste of time.
Not entirely. I learned something.
What's that?
What Miscellaneous Affairs is all about. Were you with the dog when the shots were fired?
Yes, sir. We were taking our evening constitutional. Right over there.
That's where the shots came from. You should have seen, or at least smelt, the intruder. Did he bark?
No, sir. I think he'd spotted a swiftie.
A what?
The rapidness. I think he was concentrating on that.
Or maybe it was somebody he knew.
It's perfectly possible, sir.
Thanks.
Okay, enough, Luigi.
If Bella had her way, I'd eat nothing but clear soup and mineral water.
You know what the doctor said.
Doctors know how to save lives. Mr. Adderly clearly knows how to live one. Where's your girlfriend?
She's consolidating her notes.
Is this a bribe?
Of course. Someone took another shot at Devlin.
Why would I give Devlin another reason to deport me? I'd have to be crazy.
Exactly. But what if somebody did want to give him another reason? Someone who wanted to make sure you were deported. Someone in the family.
He's crazy. Nobody wants that.
She's wrong. Tell me about your nephew, Johnny.
What are you trying to say? Huh?
Bella.
He can't walk in here and just make accusations out of the...
Bella! Bella is a doting mother, and my nephew has a Sicilian temper, but his father's brains. Still, I raised him like my son. I don't think he's a killer.
You don't think he's above taking a shot at Devlin to stop the deportation?
Him with a gun? Probably shoot himself in the foot.
Perhaps. But somebody who raises and trains Dobermans is a part of this.
You can't let him threaten my son.
Devlin's Doberman slept by that fountain. The explosion should have killed him. But something or somebody drew him away.
Oh, Giovanni loves your dogs, the ones he raised and trained for you, not any other dog.
Stop. That kid would have every dog in this city living here if he could. Another of his English habits he got from his father, the greyhound racer.
Leave his father out of this. Okay?
Not much of a case. If Devlin wants rid of me, he doesn't have to be encouraged.
There's got to be another reason. Mr. Scarp.
Be careful where you point your finger, Mr. Adderly. Life could get very hard with no hands.
She's got a nasty temper.
I compiled it the way Miss Moneypenny would.
Top secret?
Oh, well, I didn't think it would hurt.
You're right, Mona.
You'll notice, Judge Devlin's commission sent an awful lot of people to prison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to find out if anybody escaped recently.
You are?
Yeah, well, I thought maybe somebody might have, just to get even.
By blowing up a fountain?
Possibly.
Anything's possible. What'd you get on Johnny Jordan?
Bella, his mother Bella. Bella married an Englishman, and apparently, yeah, it was really a major family scandal. Oh, and wait, I'm supposed to tell you, Mr. Greenspan asked me to tell him when you came in.
Don't.
Yeah, but I think he's kind of worried about Miss Kirkwood.
Well, he shouldn't be. She's not worried about him.
And you can't imagine the exclusive I'm getting. It's incredible.
Anything I can do?
Can you put somebody to work pulling some library stock shots?
Honey, if you can break this story, I can have the whole network working for you.
Just start getting them to hold some airtime for now.
I'll give you a slot at 6. We can go in depth at 11.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Word for word. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Greenspan, it's Major Clack for you.
What's wrong?
I was Major Clack on the phone long distance, and he sounded angry. I told him you weren't in.
Good for you.
Yeah, but he left some messages, and I'm supposed to deliver them word for word.
Fire away.
Quote, who the hell said he could use my name?
Good question.
Yeah. I won't ask why some poor fool called Devlin's office pretending to be my secretary, or how he coerced you. I guess it was me.
Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Actually, I kind of enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay, Mona. There's a couple of things I want you to check out.
The minute Adderly gets back, you're back.
I'm leaving.
Adderly, what the hell have you been up to? We haven't the slightest reason to involve ourselves in the Devlin case.
We've got a damn good reason. Nobody else is trying to figure out who trashed the fountain and tried to shoot him.
The local police are.
No, they're not. They're just guarding him.
Nobody asked you.
She's right.
Every man Devlin ever sent to prison has been checked and double-checked. And also every man, woman, and child Devlin ever knew. And that includes the obstetrician who delivered him.
Obstetrician. That still doesn't mean Scarpelli did it.
He's the only one who has reason to.
And he's the only one smart enough to know a stupid threat could backfire.
Then someone else did. Someone isn't as intelligent as you or Scarpelli. Who cares? Adderly, you're not listening to me again. You're not working on this case, officially or unofficially.
What'd you just say?
That's final.
Hi. Am I interrupting anything?
No. As a matter of fact, you're just in time. Come on.
Wait, where are you going?
To see Scarpelli again.
Why?
I want to hear his Sinatra records.
Come on, Adderly.
You don't have to come.
Oh, and miss this story? No way. Do we have to take your heat?
Take a bus. The girl I was with, she's been kidnapped.
I don't know anything about it. I've got to rest. That ice you brought.
Whoever did it used Johnny's car.
Hey. Why not you ask Johnny?
I don't think he knows what's really going on.
And you do you?
Devlin's not the target. You are.
Nobody's hit me.
Oh, they're not trying to hit you. They're trying to impress the hell out of you. Bella and Johnny's father. An Englishman who shares Johnny's talent with dogs. A greyhound racer who also knows that a rabbit on the track is called a Swiftie. Devlin's butler, Wilkins.
He was well paid to stay away.
And if you're deported and he becomes heir, he'll be well paid again. Wilkins and Bella have the brains to run this family that Johnny might lack.
Bella? Bella, where is she?
Where would they take Sandra?
This is a family matter, Mr. Adderly. I'm sorry you got involved. We'll take care of it.
That girl is my responsibility.
And what goes on in my family is my responsibility. She's disgraced us. The name of Scarpelli. Marrying that Englishman.
I don't care about that.
I will not betray my family.
Then you listen to this. Back off. Obstructing justice, attempted murder, and kidnapping. Those things don't end up in a gentle deportation back to your homeland, my friend.
See Mr. Adderly out. Sit, Johnny.
I was listening at the door, what he said.
Sit, Johnny. And for once in your life, don't talk. This is a family business. If you really want to take my place as the Don, if you really want to prove that you deserve it, you will bring your mother and that Englishman to me. You do know where they are, don't you? I may be an old Sicilian wolf, Giovanni, and I've still got teeth. Now go and make sure you're not followed.
You do this to us?
We did it for you. To make the family know you were the man to replace Luigi.
You wanted to set the Don up for deportation. Your own brother.
He kept me from my husband.
But if the police didn't finger him, they'd finger me. Is that what you wanted? Your own son in jail?
Calm down, boy. That's not gonna happen.
You stay out of this. You never gave a damn about me or this family.
On the contrary, I was never allowed to. I know what the Scarpelli family owes us, and I'm gonna get it. You sure you weren't followed here?
I know how to do some things right. Nobody followed me.
Why don't you let me go see the nice lady? Want to hurt me, do you? Would you rather go for a walk? Walkies?
I don't believe it.
Sometimes the call of nature's not as strong as the call of the wild. Just take a minute.
You could go around to the back.
Oh, I'd miss out all the fun. Okay. Sometimes you're just plain lucky.
And sometimes people think they're too lucky for their own good, Mr. Adderly.
Bet you can't wait to see how I get out of this one.
You should have stayed out of this. It didn't concern you.
I would have loved to have, pal.
I would have loved to. But our little roving reporter here said this was too big a story to miss. Underworld King refuses to pass on the reins to his nephew. The nephew's mother and long-lost father show up and try and make the kid look good and don't fall off the gravy train. So don't look at me, pal. She's the one that got us involved. I'm just a helpless civil servant.
Adderly?
Drop it, Mr. Adderly.
Kill him!
Give me the gun, Mr. Adderly.
That's okay. Sometimes it goes like this. Is this how you take over your uncle's operation?
I deserve it. I'm his flesh and blood.
I didn't ask you that. But if that's what you want, there's only one way to get it. You gotta start by shooting me. Then you have to shoot her. You starting to get the idea? I'm walking out of here with them.
Don Luigi says it's family business.
I don't take my orders from your uncle. They're in it up to their necks. So far, no one's been killed or even hurt yet. If you do anything to change that, he's on the next plane to Sicily. I think he knows that.
Don't listen to him, Johnny.
Son,
be quiet.
A good general knows the right time to surrender, Johnny. I think your uncle would appreciate that.
Don't be too tough on them.
Life's tough.
No. Giovanni!
Shall we?
Why do I always find you in my office?
I need your advice. I'm torn between Everest and Kilimanjaro.
Climb them both. You'll have the time. Put them down there, please. And one here.
Should I help you pack?
No, thank you.
Are you going somewhere, too?
Not going. I'm resigning from miscellaneous affairs before we're dissolved.
You know we're being dissolved, Mona?
Sandra Kirkwood's news story comes out today.
Well, she could say something nice. After all, we solved the case. Didn't we?
Yeah, Wilkins and Bella admitted everything.
What is a Blue Jay tenant doing in my...
Oh, thanks.
You know, you people amaze me. You had her kidnapped.
And rescued.
You put her life in jeopardy. Distinctly told me not to. Specifically asked you. Impress her. Never did I see it. I told you to get your feet off my desk.
No, he didn't. Not this time.
Do you have any work to do?
No.
What about Kirkwood's report?
It's on now.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if we hurry, it's on right now. Honestly, Mr. Greenspan, if I can't get simple office supplies, what are they going to say if I try to requisition a television?
This is humiliating.
Ernest, can we borrow your TV?
Hey, I'm watching.
Can we switch to the news, Ernie?
What about my bag?
Your what?
My vacuum cleaner. Every janitor's place has one. All I got is this broom. You promised. But I seen the requisition. There's no vac on it.
It's harder to lean on a vac, Ernie.
And we didn't get anything that was on that requisition.
Well, my vac should have been on there. Hey, mine.
It will be on the next requisition, I promise. Ernest, this is important.
So's my vac.
Ernie, I will personally see to it that your vac is on the next requisition, okay?
You I trust. Be my guest.
Luigi Scarpelli, reputed mob strongman, announced today he will not contest a motion ordering his deportation to his native Sicily. It is time for me to leave, Scarpelli declared. In return, charges against 2 members of his family will be reduced to misdemeanors. And now for tonight's special report.
She's going to crucify us.
For the past few days, I've worked alongside members of an
She's already on it.
government agency. These people, while deliberately giving an impression of total incompetence, actually accomplish what other agencies fail to, and do so with antiquated equipment and almost no manpower. I am proud of them, and every taxpayer should be proud of them too. Unfortunately, security considerations prevent me from revealing the name of this remarkable agency. Obviously, I would not wish to do anything which might impede its ability in the future to perform the type of miracles I have recently
Adderly,
seen.
she's not going to give us any credit.
I can,
What
however,
about me?
report that this agency operates under the personal direction of a heroic and truly indispensable public servant, Mr. Melvin Greenblatt.
Adderly, where are you going?
Climb the Matterhorn. With pay.